I think that's the biggest thing for me, trying to get that negative mindset out of our culture, because they still going back to, oh man, slavery, they did us this, and I'm like,
the ramifications.
you still hoping on that, man. I never hoped on that.
Oh man, Master P in trouble. My people are very, very tender. You can't speak up. They're gonna mess around and call Master P a tether in a minute. Hip hop mogul and founding member of No Limit Records is under fire right now over nothing at all.
Because I can't change the past, but I can change the future. And I think you got to get used to us being successful. And I think a lot of us, we block our own blessings.
All right, so Master P just walked into one of those conversations where one word can get your whole argument killed.
Man, I never hoped on that.
Dead on arrival. That word is harping. Because I understand what I think Master P is trying to say, right? Matter of fact, I probably agree with more of his argument than most people are going to expect. I mean, I'm agree with most of it, to be honest with you. But when you tell black people things like harping on slavery, here we go. I can already hear it now. I can feel the tender Negro spot getting agitated. Next thing you know, people are going to be talking about pull up by your bootstraps and things of that nature, and nothing makes black people more upset. You say harping on slavery, you better put the next 17 sentences together perfectly, because all they're hearing is black people need to get over slavery. But that's not really what he said. And before we start calling Master P a sellout or decide he's the new minister of pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you need to establish what the man was actually talking about.
Because we don't think that we could do it because we're looking at a color. So, I mean, Muhammad Ali was a guy that, and I love like his story, because he didn't care about that. He just wanted to be around good people, but he did represent for the culture. Right. And I want more African-American owned tennis shoe companies. I don't want this just to be me. I want so many different product brands owned by us, but making it for everybody. Because think about it, when other cultures make products, they don't make it for them, they make it for everybody.
This is really just a money conversation. This clip didn't come up randomly from Master P just giving a speech about slavery like that nobody asked for. He just thought, y'all need to get yourself together, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. This is not what's happening. He was asked a question by Forbes magazine, a question about ownership, businesses, rap snacks, investments, closing the black wealth gap. You know, pro-black shit. See, now this is the context that is needed. Master P isn't arguing forget slavery. His argument is, what are we building now? And I'm not mad at that question. Man, Master P has been preaching ownership longer than half these financial gurus and influencers have been old enough to open a checking account. No limit, ownership, masters, distribution, products, rap snacks. Master P has been Master P-ing for the last 30 years. So when he says black people need more ownership, okay, I'm listening. But this is where I think P kind of, he messed it up a little bit. You can't talk about closing the black wealth gap without explaining exactly how the wealth gap got there.
So when I find a problem, my passion get like, I need to do this. I got to show the world. In the food industry, I realized that we didn't have enough healthy alternative foods for us. So I found a problem. I created Miller Family Food. I said, well, I got to make healthy alternative food, snacks, everything.
Is that based out of New Orleans?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I was inspired by going to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And, in the Black Wall Street, 1920, what happened to our people. And it's like you had so many successful, rich black people, and it was burned down. But I met this guy that owned a grocery store called Oasis.
Yeah, A.J. Johnson.
Yes. Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put my food in your grocery store, and I'm going to support you. We support all these other companies, but why not support Oasis and A.J.?
He's doing good stuff in the community, and what you know about that store, as I've been down there, is that the predominantly of that area, that's white, is poor individuals,
yes.
And so I love the work that he's doing. But when you think about, again, being yourself, what's been the biggest surprise of the stardom? I mean, you've been in this game for a very, very long time. What's been the biggest surprise about it all?
Our own culture don't believe that we could do it. Because that they just don't get it. They're like, how you could do this? I mean, like, if I could do it, anybody could do it. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You just got to have integrity and do good business. And these doors will open up for you, building great relationships. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, trying to get that negative mindset out of our culture, because they still going back to, oh man, slavery, they did us this. And I'm like,
the ramifications.
you still harping on that, man. I never hoped on that, because I can't change the past, but I can change the future. And I think you got to get used to us being successful. And I think a lot of us, we block our own blessings because we don't think that we could do it, because we're looking at a color. So, I mean, Muhammad Ali was a guy that, and I love like his story, because he didn't care about that. He just wanted to be around good people, but he did represent for the culture.
Right.
And I want more African American owned tennis shoe companies. I don't want this just to be me. I want so many different product brands owned by us, but making it for everybody. Because think about it, when other cultures make products, they don't make it for them, they make it for everybody.
Right. He's trying to get people to be real players in it, not just competing for the black dollar, for all the dollars. Now, there are two totally different arguments hiding in this conversation. Argument number one, you can't spend your entire life using history as an excuse not to do anything today. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Matter of fact, that's pretty normal grown man advice. But the argument number two sounds like black people are still dwelling on slavery too much. That needs evidence. Because who are these black people? The average black dude isn't waking up on Monday talking about, damn, I was going to clock in today, but I remember the compromise of 1850. I was supposed to get my 40 acres and a mule, but I might not check in. Most people are going to work. Most people are trying to pay those bills. Most people are trying to get promoted, trying to buy something, trying to keep their kids from losing their damn minds. So here's my first question. Is Master P describing the actual behavior of black America, or describing the loudest conversations he sees on the internet? Those are not necessarily the same thing. And this is why I'm not throwing his whole message away. Listen to Master P talk about where he came from.
Building God's kingdom. And so be able to escape the things that I was able to escape, to be able to have nothing and sell 100 million records. And coming from the projects, making Forbes, that ain't normal. And so I know it's not. If I ain't had God, I wouldn't be here. Yeah. So I want kids to know that no matter what your conditions are, that you can overcome it if you put the work in, because they say faith without work is dead. Yeah. So I want kids to know I'm a living testimony that you could actually come from nothing and live the American dream. And which a lot of people say that, and then people see me and say, oh, well, P, you successful. It's easy for you to say that. No. And one time I lived in a 3-bedroom project with my grandparents and 14 of us kids and 2 adults. That's 16 people. And I ain't had nothing. I ate last, but I know that I wanted something more, and that hunger drove me and pushed me and made me go chase my dreams.
That part right there. That part. This is what Master P is at his strongest, because the argument is, I had disadvantages, but I still had agency. And this is true. Your circumstances affect you. Your circumstances don't automatically control every decision you make for the rest of your life. Those things can both be true. And if Master P had basically said, don't let what happened to us convince you nothing can happen for us, this probably isn't even a controversy. But that ain't what goes viral. You know what I'm saying? What went viral was harping on slavery. That's all you see all up and down the timeline. Who harped on? He said, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Master P done got uppity.
So Master P came out and said that magically melanated, aka black people in the United States, need to stop harping on slavery. That ain't gonna help build the racial wealth gap. That's what he said. And that's why I don't rock with cats like Master P or any of these celebrities, because majority of them, especially if they magically melanated, aka black, they not rocking with us. They're not. They're rocking with the system that's gonna keep, what's that video I saw? Keep serving them buttered biscuits.
I can't even say that I'm disappointed in Master P because he's so out of touch. Do we think he can really talk to us?
And I was today years old when I realized that we didn't all think on the same spectrum. So let me explain what Master P was really saying. What he was saying was black people need to continue to stay oppressed. They need to continue to stay silent. And they need to continue to support him and all the other celebrities, becoming more richer, silently making them richer. And why would you fight for your land? Why would you fight for yours? Why would you speak up for what's yours?
Stop letting these rich black people shame you out of your history. Stop letting millionaires who got lucky or got a family money tell you that your oppression is just a mindset. Your oppression is real. Your history is real. And the only way we build a future is by knowing exactly what was stolen from us, exactly how it was stolen, and exactly who benefited from the theft.
And this is exactly the problem. Once the phrase hits the internet, the debate stops being how should black people balance historical awareness with economic agency? Hell no. That's too reasonable. Now it's Master P says forget about slavery versus Master P destroys the victim mentality. The internet got two settings, the communist and the landlord, nothing in between. Now, Master P has responded to the backlash, and his response gives us a better idea of what he says he meant.
What's up, y'all? For the ones in the back that can't hear, stop making them false narratives. I love my people. When you talk about slavery, our ancestors been through so much and we're not gonna forget it. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to tell y'all is, even though we're going to always be aware of it, but we have to do something to bridge the wealth gap. That's what I'm saying. We can't change the past, but we can change the future. And we're going to constantly fight and educate our people. But I want to let y'all know, Apple is making $32 million an hour. How do we get a piece of that? Because we need to be able to bridge the wealth gap. That's the only thing I'm saying. And that's the only way it's going to happen. We got to educate our people, and educate our culture. And that's what I'm doing.
All right. Now that sounds different, don't it? After the whole internet done yelled at him for nothing, for saying nothing, but except for we can do it, guys. Now we talking. Because now basically P is just saying, I'm not telling you to forget about history. I'm saying we can't let remembering the history become the entire economic plan. And based on the full interview, I actually believe that's closer to what he intended. But Master P, you can't completely blame everybody else for misunderstanding you because you said harping. Half these niggas don't even know what that means, but they just know it didn't sound good and it irritated them. If everybody leaves the cookout saying a potato salad was salty, at some point we might need to go check the potato salad. Unless the potato salad was made on the internet. We need to get away from opinions for a second because Master P's whole argument involves the black wealth gap. Okay, let's see how big it is. So in 2022, the median family wealth, white families approximately $285,000, while black families were approximately $44,900. That means the typical black family wealth was roughly 15 cents for every dollar of the typical white family's wealth. So when Master P says we need to bridge the wealth gap, he's absolutely right. There's clearly a damn gap. But then we have to ask, why is there a gap? And that's where you can't just say, stop talking about history, because history is part of the explanation. Slavery ends, then Jim Crow, then redlining, housing discrimination, employment discrimination, unequal access to lending, crack. Veterans coming home from wars not always receiving the same practical benefits and access to benefits. I mean, there are a lot of variables here that contribute to this, but I do agree that mindset is a huge part of it. Because people who disagree with Master P can also become ridiculous. Knowing why you're behind doesn't automatically tell you what you're doing tomorrow morning. You still have agency. You still have decisions and kids and what are we buying? What are we doing? History explains that position. And I think that's the heart of what Master P is trying to communicate. History explains position. It does not eliminate responsibility. I don't know. Here's where I land. Master P had a legitimate point about black ownership, personal responsibility, and refusing to let history convince us that progress is possible. But saying black people are still harping on slavery oversimplifies why the racial wealth gap exists and made his argument sound much more dismissive than his own clarification suggests he intended. That's my answer. He didn't say slavery didn't matter, but he did say it badly enough that I understand why people thought he did. All right? Tell me what you heard. Was Master P right? Did people intentionally take one word out of context? Did he have the right message but the wrong wording? Or does the entire argument ignore how much his past still influences black economics today? Here's the bigger question. When does understanding history become dwelling on history? And who gets to decide where that line is? That's the conversation. And please, don't harp on the comments.
Oh, man. Ooh, we're failing as a people.
Coochie, balls, drugs, luxury vehicles. Coochie, balls, drugs, luxury vehicles. Coochie, balls, drugs, luxury vehicles. Violence, 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 violence.